Is the Canadian dream over? If you've seen the recent headlines about Canada cutting immigration, it's completely understandable to feel anxious and confused. Many are wondering if their plans are now impossible. That's what I'm here for. In this video, we're going to cut through the noise, break down exactly what's in Canada's official 2025 to 2027 immigration level plans, directly from the official sources. Most importantly, we'll go far beyond the numbers to uncover the single most important strategy for success in this new era of Canadian immigration. I'll break down the specific profiles that Canada is now prioritizing and give you a clear step-by-step action plan to follow. Because the door to Canada isn't closing, it's just become more specific. And my job is to show you exactly how to fit the key. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Bella. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. My job is to help aspiring immigrants like you develop a personalized strategy that makes your journey to Canada as simple and stress-free as possible. That's the work I do with my clients every day, and it's the same guidance I'll be sharing with you right here. So what's actually happening? After years of record high immigration, the government is shifting its focus to what it calls sustainable growth. This is a direct response to nationwide pressures on housing and healthcare. The shift involves two major changes you need to understand. First, there will be fewer overall permanent residence spots. The government is reducing the total number of people who will receive permanent residence. The previous target of 500,000 for 2025 has been significantly reduced, and the numbers will continue to be managed closely in the years to follow. Second, a new cap has been placed on temporary residents. For the first time, Canada is putting a limit on the number of temporary residents like students and workers. The goal is to reduce this group as a percentage of the total population over the next 2 years. The key takeaway here is that competition is increasing. Simply being qualified is no longer enough. You need to be a preferred candidate. So, with fewer spots, how do you become a preferred candidate? The government has given us a very clear roadmap. It's a strategy I call In Canada Focus. And if you remember one thing from this video, this should be it. The government has officially stated that more than 40% of all new permanent residents in 2025 will be people who are already living and working inside Canada. So why this shift? Official government research shows that immigrants with Canadian work experience integrate faster, earn more, and play less strain on the system. They are seen as a proven asset. In other words, the single most powerful strategy for immigrating to Canada now is to first come as a temporary resident, gain high-quality Canadian work experience, then transition to permanent residence. This is the exact pathway the government is prioritizing. Despite the cuts, the government is aggressively seeking certain profiles. If you fit into one of these three categories, your path is still very clear. Let's break down who they are and the specific actions you need to take. Priority number 1, workers with in-demand skills in healthcare, trades, and education. Canada has critical shortages in these fields, but having the right job title isn't enough. You must prove it to IRCC's exact standards. A small mistake here can lead to refusal. So how do you make sure your application meets those exact standards? It comes down to a few key actions. Let's break them down. First, master your NOC code. Your entire application depends on the National Occupational Classification, or NOC code. Don't just match your job title. You must demonstrate that your duties match the NOC lead statement and most of the main duties. That means more than 50% in the government's description. This is a technical step where professional guidance is critical. Second, understand category-based selection. This is your priority lane. To qualify, you need to have at least 6 months of continuous work experience in a single eligible occupation within the last 3 years. Crucially, this experience can be from outside Canada. However, you must first qualify for an express entry program. Your CRS score is still vital, as it ranks you against others in the same category. Third, strategic step for tradespeople. The most powerful tool for you is a provincial or territorial certificate of qualification. This document proves your skills meet Canadian standards and is a major advantage for both employers and immigration officers. Start researching the certification process for your trade in your target province now. It's a proactive step that sets you apart. Fourth, if your occupation was dropped, do not panic, but you must pivot your strategy immediately. Your primary paths are now achieving a very high CRS score for a general draw or aggressively targeting a provincial nominee program. Research which provinces still have a high demand for your specific skill set and focus your efforts there. Priority 2. French-speaking newcomers. French language ability is no longer just a bonus. It is the central pillar of Canada's immigration strategy. This is a protected priority. So what does a protected priority actually mean for your application? It translates directly into tangible advantages that can significantly boost your profile. Let's get into the specifics. This is a protected and growing quota. While other targets are falling, the targets for French speakers outside Quebec are increasing every year. You're competing in a special lane that is being expanded by the government. Second, your goal is NCLC 7. Conversational French is not enough. You must prove your ability with an official test like the TEF or TCF. The target you should aim for is an NCLC level 7 in all 4 abilities. This is the key that unlocks the special category-based draws and adds a massive number of points to your CRS score. Third, combine strengths for an ideal profile. The most powerful candidates combine French with other in-demand skills. A nurse with NCLC 7 French is a top-tier candidate for IRCC, qualifying for 2 separate priority categories. Fourth, explore Francophone community pilots. Look beyond express entry. Research the Francophone Community Immigration Pilot. This program connects French-speaking applicants directly with communities across Canada that need you. It can be a more direct pathway to permanent residence. Priority 3, the right kind of temporary resident. This is now the main pathway, but is also a minefield of new rules. Getting this stage wrong can close the door to permanent residence. Your temporary status is now your PR audition. And with the stakes this high, there is absolutely no room for error. Your audition starts now with the decisions you make as a student or a worker. Let's cover the critical points you must get right. First, the PGWP is no longer guaranteed. Your postgraduate work permit is now tied to your program of study. For college programs, it must be in a field linked to an occupation in long-term shortage. You must verify your program's eligibility on the official government list before you apply. Choosing the wrong program is a dead end for your PR. 2. Factor in new hurdles. Be prepared for a mandatory language test to get your PGWP. Furthermore, open work permits for spouses are now largely restricted to students in master's and PhD programs. This is a critical financial and family planning consideration you must address from the start. For workers, first, target high-skilled work, and that is tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. Your goal must be at least 1 year of full-time skilled work experience in Canada. This makes you eligible for the Canadian Experience Class, CEC, the program at the heart of the new In Canada focus draws. Second, your earnings are a key signal. Official government research shows that your earnings in Canada are the strongest predictor of your long-term success. Higher pay signals to immigration officers that you're in high demand in the Canadian labor market. So aim for the well-compensated roles. Also, you need to understand the new work permit reality. The government is cutting back significantly on open work permits. In contrast, the targets for work permits that require a labor market impact assessment or LMIA are stable. This is a critical signal. A job offer from an employer willing to get an LMIA for a high-wage role is becoming a more reliable, though more difficult path to working in Canada. The rules for Canadian immigration have fundamentally changed. It is no longer a game of volume, but a game of value. The system is more competitive, but for those who are strategic, the path is clearer than ever. The message from the government is clear. Canada is looking for strategic, high-value newcomers who can integrate quickly and successfully. Navigating this new landscape on your own can feel extremely overwhelming. The stakes are simply too high to rely on guesswork or old information. Your future in Canada depends on getting your strategy right from day one. This video provides a roadmap, but you still have to navigate your unique journey. If this strategic breakdown was valuable to you, please take a moment to like the video and share it with someone else who might be feeling overwhelmed. For more guidance like this, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell, and I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below with your biggest takeaway from today's plan. Now, for those of you who know that the next logical step is to move from the general information to a personalized action plan, my team and I specialize in creating these strategies. We can assess your profile against these new priorities and build a clear step-by-step plan to give you the best possible chance of success. Don't let confusion derail your Canadian dream. If you're ready to get serious and build a professional strategy, click the link in the description to book a private consultation with me. Let's figure out your path forward together. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.